guys, I am coming to you with a brand new channel. This is Voice Diaries, so I won't be showing my face, but I will be giving you all the tea on some stories, okay? So this will be like a story time, okay? Or some prophetic words, right? Okay, but story time, guys. So I was dating this guy, okay? And this guy, he came on strong. He was love bombing. Now, with this particular guy, like I normally use my discernment when it comes to dating guys. The first red flag I see, I kind of just cut people off, okay? So, with this person, he had little red flags. He was coming on too strong in the very beginning. He said that he loved me on day one. Now, mind you, I grew up with this person and we kind of circled back around and came back around. And the way he tried to spin saying that, he loved me early was, I always had a crush on you and I didn't want to say anything, and you were my first love back then in X, Y, and Z. So it's like, okay, it might make sense just a little bit. So, but I still wasn't really going for it. But I was just like, well, maybe in his mind that makes sense, but in my mind it don't make sense. But I'm just gonna continue on and talking because we are revisiting like old memories, old times back in school, all those funny moments and stuff. And then this guy took so much time in the very beginning, like always wanting to be on the phone with me, always available. Like he was supposed to be at work, always leaving work and coming to see me in the middle of the day, taking me out to lunch, and then like, what do you want to do for dinner? And then we used to have all of these fun packed dates. So like if we go on a date, it's not just like, oh, we're going for a dinner and that's it, oh, we're going for bowling and that's it. No, we are packing that day. It's like, we're going to play tennis. We might go to play go get some lunch or go get dinner, and then we might hit up an after hour spot, or then we might, if we're doing something during the day, we might hit up an ice cream parlor, do some ice cream. We might hit up the mall and find like a game thing in the mall, do that, go bowling. Like, we used to pack those dates, okay? So he was doing all of this in the very beginning or whatever. But for me, I still understand what love bombing is, and I still understand like taking your time, because I understand that people present their representative. But naturally, all right, sorry about that. I'm outside. Okay, so naturally, when you are familiar with the person, you just kind of like, well, me personally, like when I'm familiar, I might not have walls up, as many walls up as I would normally have, okay? All right, so now moving along, in the very beginning, I needed to get my car tinted. And he was like, I can get your car tinted, just let me know when you want me to come and pick up your car. And, we can switch cars. I can give you one of my cars. And so, mind you, like, when people say certain things and when people show certain things in the very beginning, I take note of that. So to me, like, he had sent me this, which car you want to drive. So he sent me these pictures of the cars and was like, what car you want to drive? Now, mind you, I'm like, okay, he landed on thick. He's just trying to show off that he has these cars. Okay. So he's like, I'll pick up your car. Now, mind you, he doesn't know what kind of car I have. All he knows is that, because I'm extremely humble, guys. Like, I don't really say too much. I don't do too much. I'm the type that I'll keep all of my cards to my chest, and then I'll just let other people talk and let other people do their one too. Okay? And me personally, whatever I got going on, you will never know what I have going on until you need to know what I have going on. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, your little cars are cool, but I got this kind of car. Okay. So he's like, what car you want to drive? I can do it. And I'm like, I was like, no, I can just drive my own car there and I can do it myself. Okay. So I was working from home. I work from home. So he came to pick up my car to take it or whatever. And, of course he was surprised by the kind of car I have, because he, showing off his little cars. So we did, switch cars. And he took my car to get tinted. But now, mind you, this is a different story. I'm not even going to get into that, because that's not what the story is about. Like, I mean, it's multiple parts, because this guy was just like, this one was one for the books, y'all. This was one for the books, so it's going to be plenty parts. So I'm not going to tell you the whole relationship in one story time. Okay, so now he's sent me a picture of the 3 cars. And that's the reason why he sent me a picture of 3 cars, because of the situation of, he was going to handle something with my car, and he wanted me to choose which car I was comfortable with switching with. Okay, so now this guy would always come and pick me up. Okay, this guy would always come pick me up, and he would always drive 2 out of the 3 cars. And so I peeped that, and I'm like, okay, I am very intuitive, y'all. I'm very intuitive. So, when I first met this guy, this is another story which I'll get into. But when I first met him, I guess he had multiple social media pages, and I found one, and I just didn't go looking any further. And when I saw the one, I didn't really see anything on it. But as we start like going on multiple, dates or whatever the case may be, the algorithm was just like, hey, you need to see this. So his other page popped up on my feed, and I saw that he had pictures of his ex on his page, and I think it was still showing that they were engaged or something like that. So I'm like, dude, you want to move off fast? And because mind you, it's better for me to like move slow, get to know you, and then you work out all the kinks, and you work out the kinks in the beginning. But there's no need to be rushing, and when you don't have all your stuff together. But because you're rushing me, and you are like demanding certain things of me, then now don't demand certain things of me, and you don't have your stuff in order. Why do you have, what's up with this page? You're all in my face taking me out on dates, but you got a full social media page with another female on there. Okay, and then when I went to the female page, she ain't had nothing of his on there. But I'll get into that story on a different one. This is not about that, but I'm just telling you this to let you know, my intuition went off, right? And I immediately was thinking that, okay, this chick might have his 3rd car, the 3rd car that I never see. Okay, so then I started asking him. I was just like, where's your 3rd car? Where's your 3rd car? He wasn't really trying to say too much, but then eventually he had came out and said that this girl was driving that car, and which I already intuitively knew from the get-go. I just was waiting on him to say. Okay, so then I goes, okay, at this point, I was, staying at his house or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, okay, well, if this chick got your car, then what you need to do is, I'm not dating a dude who has another chick driving their car. And I said, do you got a car note on that car? You know what I mean? Because if you got a car note on that car, you essentially like paying for her to get around. You know what I mean? You are still supporting and funding an ex, and that's something that I absolutely do not go for. I will never ever in my life date a dude that's financially supporting another female. You got another thing coming. You know what I mean? Because it's like you still got ties to somebody else. So I would never put myself in that situation. So I'm like, so he said, well, I had a talk with her, and she was supposed to be giving me this car back. Okay, guys. So I'm like, okay, so what was the talk? He was like, yeah, I talked to her. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna push. And then so I brought it up again. Where is your car? Yeah, well, then he started explaining her car situation. I can care less about somebody else's situation. I don't care about nobody else's situation. You know what I mean? If you want to continue to date me, what you need to do is you need to be getting your car back. I could care less about her situation. She has a job. She could pay for her own car. So I said, until you get that car back for, I said, how much is that car note? He told me how much the car note. Like, I don't know. I think he said about $600. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, until you get this car back from her, I said, you have to start paying my car note. Okay? So I'm like, you need to start paying my car note, because there's no way that you're going to be paying another chick car note and I got to pay my own car note. So it's like, to me, it's like you're supporting another chick and you're not supporting me. So you need to start paying my car note. Okay? So I said, at first of the month, if you don't have your car back, I need my money. I need the money for the car note. So it's either gonna be that or we're gonna break up. So however you want to do it is fine with me. Okay. So the first of the month came around and no car. So I'm like, okay, it's the beginning of the month. You don't have your car. Where's my money for my car note? Where is my money for the car note? You know what I mean? Because I'm making it like I'm not even playing. Where is my money for this car note? So he like, I'm about to get the car. Well, we already have it scheduled. We already have it scheduled to get the car. This car is supposed to be coming back or whatever. All right, y'all. So the car got dropped off. Okay? The car got dropped off. At this point we was going out of town, but I'll save that next part for another segment, because that was another whole ordeal. I'm telling you, this was the craziest, toxic, most, I don't know, relationship I've ever been in. Like, I don't really have too much to say about past relationships. Even, there's small stuff here and there, like things that go on, but I don't really have much to say. But this one particular one, this was the most toxic situation I've ever been in my life, to the point to where, as though I should not have so many stories to tell on one situation. Now, mind you, I'm the type of person, like, I did cut and dry. I didn't stay in there very long. So on top of all of this toxicity and all these story times are going to come from one situation. Crazy thing, guys, is this wasn't even a long relationship. You know what I mean? Like, I cut it off. This wasn't even a long relationship. And I got story times for days. It is insane. It's insane. All right, guys. So, this is, I guess part one. I should have just did a whole part series and breaking it down from like the beginning all the way through, but my mind don't work like that. I'm all over the place in it, and sometimes I'm out of order. So I wanted to start with the car situation. All right, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.